Hello everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Adrian Lloyd. This is just my stupid opinion. Okay, I want to start off today just by updating a little bit on the Las Vegas situation. It's been about almost a week now since the Las Vegas massacre, which became America's worst mass shooting in modern history. And there's a few more facts that have recently come out that have changed some of the narratives. One thing in particular was that it was believed off the start that the weapons that were used were illegally upgraded to be fully automatic. However, it has come out that the method that was used was actually a legal method, and it's interesting. See, what was found on the stockpile of guns that he had inside his hotel room that he was firing down on the crowd with, several of his weapons were modified with bump stocks. And what a bump stock is a bump stock essentially, it allows the stock and the handle of the gun itself it slides forwards and backwards, it pivots. And what this does is the recoil of the gun, it pushes the stock back into the shoulder and then forward. And what this does, along with the handle, is it allows you to fire a weapon at almost automatic rate. Not quite, it's not as consistent as an automatic weapon, but if you go online and look up some videos, you essentially get a fully automatic weapon with this.
All right, guys, let me give you a quick little example of how this thing works. Load it up, charge, let me get on fire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this vertical grip and I'm hold my pistol grip, and I'm going to gently pull them apart. Like pull this, I'm going to be pushing forward with this hand and pulling rearward with this hand. This is how they fire.
It was originally created to help people with disabilities fire weapons, and it was given the go-ahead in 2010 by the American government to be sold. And now even the NRA are talking about possibly rolling back this bump stock because of what happened. To me, though, some of the arguments of people who are still supporting the bump stock, which of course, after there was an announcement it might be banned by the president, they skyrocketed in sales. Some people, though, are defending... I don't understand the defense, though. See, one thing about it is they're putting in defense of why the bump stock shouldn't be outlawed, is that it doesn't improve accuracy, it actually decreases accuracy. This is actually a pretty obvious argument. The same thing happens with a fully automatic weapon. If you fire it fully automatic, then you lose accuracy. I think they're completely focusing on the wrong issue in this argument, because most people, I would assume, aren't concerned about the accuracy. They're consumed about the quantity of bullets that are coming out of the barrel of the gun. If you fire that many bullets and just fill the air, then you don't have to be accurate. You're pretty much guaranteed to hit. Probably almost every single shot that the Las Vegas shooter fired hit somebody, especially off the start, for when the crowd was so mashed together. It would be almost impossible for him to miss. So that's really the danger of automatic weapons and bump stocks. It doesn't have to do with their accuracy. If there's a sniper, that's when you would be worried about their accuracy. But this was a high-powered rifle being used. Is it the time to talk about gun control? That's always really the main debate after a mass shooting like this happens. It's not even a gun control debate. It's just a debate about whether we should even talk about it. A lot of people on the right say you're politicizing the tragedy when you talk about gun control after. But I find they politicize it just as much, because a lot of them become very defensive about not taking their guns away. I don't know exactly where I fall on this issue. In terms of bump stocks, I actually do think I agree with them possibly being banned. Just we see how bad these really can be, and it doesn't restrict somebody's ability to get an AK-47 or an AR-15, let's say. So And I don't even think putting laws in place for that right now would have helped anything that did happen with Las Vegas. Many guns were purchased legally at a gun store. He passed many background checks, so I don't really see how else we could have prevented that with more laws. So I don't think putting more laws in place to restrict guns would necessarily be the right choice. The bump stock, perhaps, or maybe requiring a higher license range in order to be able to use and have a bump stock. One of the other upgrades that he had was a Hellfire trigger, and Hellfire trigger just essentially it helps you. You don't have to pull the trigger to quite a far range, so you can snap off shots very quickly. So these were two of the main things that he used to upgrade his rifles in order to make them essentially fully automatic, even though they weren't. According even by ATF standards, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Department, even by their standards, a bump stock is considered a semi-automatic weapon, even though it virtually is an automatic one. I think one reason they don't is the fact it can be inconsistent, that you won't get a steady rate of fire like an automatic weapon. So that's just a few updates coming in from Las Vegas. As far as I know, we still really don't have a motive as to what happened. I haven't been able to find it yet.